Well, we're here at Free Geek with Jessica. Thanks so much for taking the old laptop in.
My pleasure.
So what is Free Geek all about? I mean, this is kind of a cool place. Is it in other cities as well?
Yeah, so there's actually 11 Free Geeks in North America. We're one of 2 in Canada. The other one's in Toronto. We've been around for 4 years. And the original Free Geek, which is in Portland, Oregon, has been around for 11 years. And they're called the Mothership.
The Mothership. Very cool. So I see a lot of bodies kind of milling around here. Is it mostly volunteer run?
It's almost exclusively volunteer run, yeah.
And so what happens? People can basically bring their stuff in here, and what do you do with it?
Well, as much as we can, we try and reuse. So we try and reuse the systems, keyboards, mice, you name it, and we try and give them back to the community. So we give them out free to our volunteers and to organizations in our community. The ones and the things that we can't reuse, we ethically recycle and we dismantle here.
We hear a lot of these, green claims. Like, how do we know that this stuff is actually being recycled properly? Because there's like a lot of bad stuff in some of these computers.
Oh yeah, so computers are considered toxic waste internationally. So we think it's really, really important that recyclers are ethically recycling things. For us, we've been independently audited by the Basel Action Network, which is an environmental organization which can audit you if they agree that yes, we're doing what we say we're doing with our downstream, so right to the end of life with the equipment, then they give you your e-stewardship certificate. Now, we're one of 7 recyclers in Canada to have that, and we're the only non-profit. So that would be something we'd like to see a lot more recyclers have.
Well, I would be fascinated if you could give me a tour and show me how this all breaks down.
Sure, we'd love to do that.
Let's check it out.
So when a system comes in, we're going to put it here, and this is a volunteer station called Evaluation, and it's where we evaluate the machines. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn them on, if they turn on, and if they do turn on, we're going to see if they're of a specification that we're going to keep to refurbish, in which case they go up to build fodder ready to get refurbished later. Now, if they fail evaluation, which a lot of them sadly do, we're going to manually dismantle them and ethically recycle them, and they're going to go along here.
Okay.
Along this bench here, the dismantle bench, we're going to take out the different components. So some things we're going to recycle, like, say, the CPUs here.
And what can they do as far as recycling with these?
So, obviously the thing of value in this is the gold. Anytime you see yellow, it's gold.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's gold.
So you're just in it for the gold, like you're...
Now, this is one of the few things that we can actually make some money on and make sure that we pay our rent.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of gold.
Look at all this stuff down here. Like, you've got buckets full of motherboards and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what happens to these ones?
Okay, so these we're also going to separate out. So certain things we're going to take out. So the batteries, like the lithium batteries, are super toxic. So we're going to take those out separately and put them places like this.
Yeah.
Take out things like the RAM. Obviously, the CPU has come off. Any expansion cards we've taken off. So yeah, we try and do a lot of the manual dismantling here. So some things we're going to keep, like over here we've got things like CD rewriters and DVD rewriters.
Yeah. So
we're going to test those separately and see if we can put them into the refurbished machines. Other things like, say, CD-ROMs, no one wants them.
No.
So we're going to dismantle those further down the end here. So these guys are actually taking apart the CD-ROMs, so either don't work, or they're just too old, or they don't rewrite,
Oh, this is cool. What's happening over here?
This is RAM testing.
Check this out, yeah. RAM testing.
So the RAM that we take off the motherboards earlier on, we're going to bring over here, and then once we've tested them in the grills up here, we're going to put a little green dot on them to say that they passed, and then they can go either into the refurbished machines, or they can go out as donations.
Okay.
Or we can sell them to people in our thrift store.
Very cool. So each one of these has different kind of RAM slots, and you just stick them in to make sure they work.
You got it, and we test them on the little screen there.
This is so geeky.
It's super geeky, yeah.
I love it.
And then over here, we've got masses of printers, scanners, and faxes that we test and often just give out to the community. A lot of people need printers. So.
Yeah. So this is all the stuff we can reuse, but then where does all the stuff that goes when it's not reusable? Oh.
Into the recycling part of the warehouse.
This is where computers go to die.
Yeah.
But look at how much stuff is here.
Oh yeah, this is around about 5 days worth in the warehouse.
5 days?
Yeah. We get about 40 tons of equipment in a month.
40 tons?
Yeah, so 2 tons for every day that we're open.
That is fantastic. So where is this going?
So some of this is going to N-Corp. It's going to various recyclers. All of our recyclers are on our website.
So this isn't all going to end up in a landfill in China, is it?
No, sir. No, not in the slightest. And that's why we think it's really important that we recycle ethically here. But enough of the recycling part. It's a little depressing, right? Let's go look at some of the stuff that we refurbish and we can sell in our thrift store.
Love it. Let's check it out.
Cool.
So this is the place people can come and actually buy stuff.
You got it. Yeah, this is our thrift store.
But look at all this. I mean, keyboards, they start at $1.
Yeah, $1. Yeah, and they're all working. Yeah, good to go.
I recognize this. This is a Next machine. This is the computer company that Steve Jobs formed after he got fired from Apple way back. And then Apple bought that company from Steve, and then he got back into Apple again. So a lot of history. That's pretty geeky.
Yeah, and they didn't produce many of these, and this works.
Really?
Yeah, and I think we're selling it for $50 or something, the whole system. It's pretty awesome.
Wow, it's like a museum in here.
But we have a lot newer stuff too, like we have like refurbished systems.
But I mean, this is awesome over here too. Like sometimes you need a power supply or cables, and
Oh yeah.
you could save a truckload of money. Like when you buy this stuff in the store, these VGA cables and DVI cables, it's like, you know, $20, $30 sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's sort of between like $3 and $5, even laptop cables. That's a lot of what we sell. It's sort of the peripheral thing.
And so the money you make here goes back into Free Geek to keep the machine going. So
oh yeah, we're a non-profit, yeah.
As well, if you want to recycle your old gear, definitely the place to come. Jessica, thanks so much. Where can people find out more information about Free Geek?
www.freegeekvancouver.org.